Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tony Hill. I'm a personal and small business credit coach, online marketer, YouTuber. Welcome. Before I begin, if this is your first time to my channel, please subscribe, smash the like button, hit the notification bell for upcoming content. Feel free to make a comment, and most of all, share this with your friends and family if you think they can use this information. Look, I always try to bring you guys something you can use, news you can use, and this is a biggie because look, the second largest probably purchase that you make is an automobile, right? Or if you got a car payment, mortgage payment, but a car payment is probably your second largest uh, payment that you make every month, whether it's your rent or your after your rent and mortgage. So what I did was I wanted to figure out what programs that they had for people who were being affected by the coronavirus uh, outbreak. What's going on? You know, people that are at home, and I know they're telling a lot of us to stay at home, especially in the service industry. So I wanted to do something to help out. I searched and looked around. I didn't see anything on YouTube for people who may have some anxiety about this and trying to make their car payments, mortgage payments, credit card payments. So I wanted to do maybe a series on this, and so I'm gonna start with the car payment one. So look, I called around today. Actually, I called around a couple of days ago, and I have a Lexus lease, and I wanted to know. Look, I work at one of my incomes is I work at a physical location with the dealer. I'm an automotive consultant to a dealership, a small independent dealer, and um, his business has been affected, which makes me affected, right? Because if he's not doing well, he won't need my expertise. So, look, I call Lexus and said, "Hey, what do you have for people being affected by the coronavirus outbreak?" And they said, "Well, we have a 2 month extension deferment and on my lease." So I said, "Great, I'll take it." And I said, "What if this thing goes longer than 2 months?" They said, "Well, we'll revisit that then, but and it's based on case by case basis." But the good news is that you could get the 2 month extension from Lexus, or I'm sure the same for Toyota, for 2 months on a lease or purchase, which is pretty cool. Don't sound like a lot, but look, that's 2 months that you have. You can put in your pocket. You can buy food and take care of your family with. Also, too, I would advise doing this even if you maybe not don't need it because of the fact that you don't know what's going to happen down the road. So if you get a 2 month extension and save that money, and it'll help you if you go a little longer, at least you can have money to pay a couple of car payments down the road. But take it, take it while you can get it. That's what my advice would be. I was surprised because I called around some of the other uh, financial institutions that manufacturers use, like GM Financial, Chrysler Financial. Once again, I talked to Lexus, talked to um, Hyundai. Uh, Credit Capital, Hyundai Capital. So, but when I talked to GM, and I didn't get a hold of all of them because a lot of them was 25 to 45 minutes away, and I'm sure it's a lot of people trying to get these deferments and extensions on their vehicles for payments. Uh, but I called GM Financial, and I was surprised they did have the 2 month extension on the purchase, but they didn't have anything on leases, which surprised me. They're like, "Well, leases are 30 days; they need to be paid every 30 days, and they have a maturity date." I said, "Well, so does Lexus, and Lexus just changed the maturity date 2 months." And they said, "Well, that's our current program. We don't have anything for leases," which I was surprised at. So, you folks with GM Financial, I'm concerned about that. But call them. Hopefully they'll change it. They say, well, maybe something will happen where they may change it and look at that in the future. But right now they didn't have anything. I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing my screen with you folks, and basically what this is just some of the programs and about some of the dealers are doing um, regarding uh, coronavirus car payment plans, and then of course they have some manufacturers have car buying plans also. But I really want to cover more so the extension of payments. So here's Fiat Chrysler, current Fiat owners and lessees, flexible payment arrangement, payments extension on case-by-case basis. Perspective for Fiat buyers, 0%, 84 months on certain vehicles. You can read that, and I'll leave this link for this below. Um, so, they have 90 days deferment on if you were to make a purchase. And if you guys saw my other couple videos I made about protecting your credit during this coronavirus outbreak, my recommendation is not to buy any major purchases. So GM for current GM owners and lessees, flexible payment arrangement, payment extensions on case by case basis, and they should say, and they said current GM owners and leases. Leases was not part of what they say that here, but that's not what they told me on the phone today because I definitely call and talk to them for about a half an hour. Prospective GM buyers, interest-free finance, 84 months, deferred payments up to 120 days. That's cool, but once again, I wouldn't make any large purchases. Now this is interesting. With Genesis, and if you don't know, Genesis and Hyundai, Genesis is a flagship car of Hyundai, the one that looks like the Mercedes, but they they have the current Genesis on lease owners leases up to 6 months payment for new customer who lose their jobs and have purchased or leased a vehicle between March 14th and April 30th. That's pretty cool. Through Genesis Financial. For prospective Genesis buyers, deferment payments up for 90 days. But hey, that's 6 months of payments for people who's lost their jobs from March 14th to April 30th. That's awesome. I'm surprised at this. Honda doesn't have anything for current Honda owners and lessees. No announced programs yet. For prospective Honda's buyers, no programs yet. I have no idea what's going on there. You would have to talk if you own a Honda and you have a Honda lease or purchase, you would have to call Honda and see what's going on with that. Hyundai, once again, just like Genesis, they have the 6 months payments for new owners who've lost their jobs between March 14th and April 30th. Lexus, once again, I told you about Lexus. They have 2 months extension or deferment for owners and leases. And also it's on case by case basis. It's pretty surprising here because it said for current Lexus owners, but that doesn't say leases. But I have a lease and they easily, and what they did for a lease, they just moved my maturity date back 2 months, which is pretty cool. And at first they said, well, you have to pay the fees. Then they came back and said, no, we waived the fees. So that was awesome. I'm sure you can get the same down here, Toyota case by case basis. Um, I'm sure you could do the same thing. No announcement of programs yet. So, and Nissan, kind of the same thing, rescheduling of payments. So look, I would say if you have a vehicle, you making payments, whether it's with one of the uh, financial institutions, one of these major manufacturers, or credit union or community bank or wherever your loan is, I would call them up and say, hey, I've been affected by this coronavirus outbreak, and I need a deferment. And hopefully that's going to help you protect your credit because um, during this time, it's a good idea to protect your credit because you don't want to end up paying more in the long run. So I wanted to make a few calls for you folks and get some information and put that out, and hopefully this you found this video helpful. You know me. I am always right to the point without a whole lot of fanfare and a lot of other conversation. But I wanted to get this out to you, give you at least a couple of months to have a little relief until maybe this thing kind of subsides. I know they're saying it could be longer, But you know what? Take the 2 months if you can get it and go from there. Put that money in your pocket, feed your family, do whatever you need to do to take care of you and your family. So, hey, look, this is Tony Hill, Making Sense of Credit. I'm always trying to bring you some news you can use. Until next time, folks, stay safe. Stay away from other folks right now. Uh, this is an unprecedented time for us in our history. Be safe and wash your hands, y'all. And peace. Until next time.